Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Everyone within the sound of my voice. Everyone getting ready for work this morning, for school. Those just having breakfast. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My name is Arisha, and with me is Christal, and we are activated mornings this morning, Wednesday, November 15th. Christal, I chuckle at this instrument.
Why you chuckle?
What's
That's
the
my facial
topic?
expression.
What's the topic?
I'm in the rain on you. Rain on you. I'll make it rain. This song is about money. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome to Activated Mornings. As I reset, the time is 7:17. The WhatsApp number, the number to call, 4579997. It's the same number, yes. So we're making it very easy, okay? So
Before we begin, I have to send out special birthday greetings to someone who's impressive. Happy birthday, Zolika Lewis. Today, Zolika Lewis' birthday. Big Zo, big Empress. Happy birthday to my big friend.
Zolika. A big something.
Yeah. Buenos dias, George Valentine.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Joshua. Good morning to everyone in the diaspora. I could tell him. I know he was coming.
Of course.
Good morning to everyone in the diaspora, everyone within the sound of my voice. Again, so this morning, I don't know what you want to say something first.
There was something big up here ourselves. Good morning to all the van drivers. It's not like a notable mention, but just something that I witnessed yesterday, an accident on Fountain Stretch. Well, it was beyond the gap to go over to Glen. With a Fountain Road. So it's almost like you reach on Fairburn Pasture area there. And I understand that van, it just touched road, just spruce up sound system, rims, all the niceties that they put in these new vans these days. And it got into an accident. It's really unfortunate. I feel it for the driver and the owner of the van. And I don't know if you're going to be a lesson for anybody else, but that's really sad. Sucks for the insurance company too, because you just reach on the road. I'm really sad. I want to say good morning to the folks in East St. George. Today is the funeral of Zachary McIntosh. It's going to be quite an emotional day in Kaliokoa, but God is on your side, all right? Just those two things. And thank you for sharing the live on Facebook and YouTube at WEFM 99 SVG. All right, so let's get into the first stop this morning. $30,000 gone bye-bye. Two young men are accused of stealing $30,000 from a fisherman.
Maybe let the instrumental play.
You see, the thing is, right? Some people may not know the song itself, so you're gonna have to explain. The song is about money.
The song is about making it rain. It's very old. Well,
it's not very
to me.
I grew up with that song, but
yeah, I grew up with this song too. So that's why I'm saying it's old. It's from the 2000s. Fat Joe, make it rain. I make it rain on you.
Fat Joe still about. Anyways,
police arrested two men after they allegedly stole $30,000, and I'm reading from no other than 99wefm.com. Two men allegedly stole $30,000 in cash from the home of a local fisherman. According to police, 18-year-old Delroy Harry and 27-year-old Corey Anderson, both laborers, were arrested and jointly charged with the offense of burglary. A release from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Forces, Public Relations and Complaints Department states that two men allegedly entered the dwelling house of a 47-year-old fisherman of Barley as trespassers between midnight and 3:15 a.m. on September 16th. So this happened 2 months ago, and stole $30,000 EC cash, the property of the fisherman. So one of them living in Otley, one of them living in Barley, and they appeared before court, the Kingston Magistrate Court, on Monday, where they pleaded not guilty. They were granted bail, ironically, in the sum of $30,000, one surety, and they were ordered to surrender travel documents. They're supposed to report to the Central Police Station and Barry Police Station, and stop notices was placed.
Usual stuff.
Yeah.
Where did it happen?
Barely. And the
So-
matter was adjourned to December 30th.
So 27 and 18-year-old.
Yeah, that's a big age difference. So.
That's wild for
Anyway.
me. Number 2, Otley Hall and Barley, and the incident occurred in Barley. So what was the plan? Like somebody sleep over by somebody or something? Okay,
Who
all
needs
right.
sleep if I have $15,000, if they split it 50-50? Who needs sleep? I will walk back to Atley Hall with my 15,000.
Police will pick you up. At that time in the morning, a police patrol is going to be on the road. Somebody will pick you up, and that's it for you. But thankfully, in this case here, they were able to at least charge somebody for the offense. But I think what is striking me most about this story here is, why do you have $30,000 just sitting down in your house? That's one.
I don't blame him.
2, is it that it was a random robbery, or it is known that you don't bank your money, or it was known that you had that amount of money, or you have money in your house all the time? How did you become the target?
Sitting in the court, a lot of times when you see persons list their occupation as laborers, usually they're unemployed.
I just get vexed,
Usually they're unemployed. Usually. But I would like to believe that he was probably on the little wharf there in Baga bragging about how much money he making from fishing. That's my belief. I don't know if it's true. That's my belief. And somebody heard, and people talk, and somebody probably say, this man have the XYZ. And I say, oh, what's yours is mine now, friend.
As yours is mine now.
Neighborly love.
Neighborly love.
Me and my neighbor.
Huh.
Now, I could understand why you would have $30,000 in cash. I strongly believe that the banking system is becoming less and less trustworthy. A lot of persons would complain or have complained in the past of money going missing from their Bank of SVG accounts, from their Republic Bank accounts with no account. And sometimes some persons get back their money, but a lot of the times there's no account for it. Sometimes it's in small, maybe a little $5, $10
missing,
maybe 100, yeah, 500. A lot of people complain. They use social media to complain. I know of persons it happened to. So I could understand. And then in the more general scope of things, outside of St. Vincent, just general banking, if you're making a large amount of money, you deposit it into your account in the bank. Usually, if you were to withdraw a large sum of money, it's problems. Making me feel like it's some sort of pyramid scheme going on here.
Okay, no. All right. So I worked in a bank for 7 years. So I have experience and seen quite a number of things. I think the resistance to banking is something from the older generation. So older folks were the ones who would more than likely keep their monies at home. In terms of the risk involved in depositing your money, if there is something wrong, if you cannot account, or you see monies being deducted from your account, you can easily go into the bank, file a complaint, and then they would do the search investigation and figure out what happened. Sometimes if it is $5 or $3 or a little drop of money, let's say, it's normally a service charge.
No, not like a service charge.
I said sometimes it's a service charge. From my experience, it was a service charge.
How long ago you stopped banking?
2017 was my last year in banking.
Now I know of a story off the top of my head. A rapper, young black youngster. He had gone to the bank and withdrew $50,000 or $500,000, I think, or maybe $1 million. Who knows? And
where is this?
This is in America. And police were called. He was arrested. Then he had to prove to them that it was his money from his account. He's a rapper. He makes this money. It's all legit.
That was a video that was going around, right?
It was a news story. I read it as a news story. I don't know if there was a video.
Would the teller call the police on him?
But yes. But usually,
he was attempting to.
You usually have problems withdrawing large sums of your own money from the bank.
I'll tell you why some people may encounter that issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, This is not to deter people from banking because look at this case here. If they didn't catch the perpetrators or alleged perpetrators, he would have lost $30,000 point blank. He would not have gotten it back, right? If it was in the bank, he would have get a 2% interest, which is really much compared to what he used to get before. But at least it would have been in a place he knows that he can go back and get it. And if he can't go back and get it, then the bank is responsible for providing information and getting back that money. I think the number of cases of issues with money missing and money being deducted from your account are few compared to the number of cases where people are fine with their accounts at banks, right?
Okay.
Now, go ahead.
I could give you my personal experience. I was trying not to say it. I won't say which bank. Last year around this time, I was in New York. A friend hit me up. He asked me to buy 2 Apple Watches from him. I use my card to buy the Apple Watches. I always monitor my account when I make a purchase from my card. The amount came up to, I'd say, roughly 2,000-3,000 EC. When I came home, I'm monitoring my account, and I'm seeing that I'm double charged for the watches. And I'm seeing charges while I'm in St. Vincent being taken from my account. When I call the bank is telling me, oh, they made a mistake on their end, and the figure that I was seeing in my account is not the correct figure.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
Nothing.
They didn't rectify the problem.
They had me going around in circles. Oh, go to this department, and this department saying go to this department.
What was the end result?
I gave up.
You didn't get back your money?
No, I've been just bouncing to them departments, and I gave up.
No, you should have gotten back your money.
Okay.
You should have gotten back your stuff because
in a perfect world.
Boy, I don't know if it's the bank that you went to, but my experience, customer queries, they were dealt with. If the bank made a problem, especially with Visa, you can go straight to Visa. Through the bank, you go straight to Visa and rectify yourself.
Maybe I should cut out the middleman.
It's not necessarily cutting out the middleman because you still have to go through the bank. But the complaints normally goes, depending on the complaint, they go to Visa.
But if the bank is saying that they made that error on their end and the number that I was seeing in my account is not the correct.
I wasn't going to stop.
If the bank is saying that, then how should I rely on the bank to make the complaint to Visa?
Just keep going. Keep going. File a complaint. Keep going. Keep going. Now, I was going to get to the point of making large sums of deposits and withdrawals from the bank. Now, everybody has a usual set of transactions that they would do. Everybody has a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that pattern is out of line, they're going to start asking questions.
But if I go in person?
Well, that case is an American case, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of fraudulent cases up there. So I think it might have been specific, and I think racism played a part in that. In St. Vincent and Grenadines, not so much, right? If it's outside of your normal pattern, they will ask questions. They have to ask questions because essentially they are protecting your money. Sometimes they ask you to provide extra documentation. Mm-hmm. Some people will get upset with that because it is their money, but they are doing their job to protect the customer and the bank at the end of the day. To deposit now, if it's outside of the norm, they will or may still ask you a bunch of questions.
If you're depositing a lot, so I understand you're going to have to ask, where is this money coming from, or whatever. But my own money, it should be whatever I want to do with it. I understand what you're saying about my own protection, right? But,
and the bank would understand that it's your money, but they still need to do their checks and balances at the same time because the bank is not just operating on a standalone. There are a lot of questions and people that they have to answer to.
Mm-hmm.
So if any entity that is over the banking system, that governs the banking system, comes on and asks about a particular individual, the bank needs to be able to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to have that documentation to say X, Y, Z. The bank has to do what they have to do.
And I could understand other deterrences. You said deterrence. You said the fraudulent activities happen in America, but they happen here too. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, police caught fake ATM covers
Right.
Yeah, where persons, I think 2 St. Lucians were arrested for that, where they will place it over the account so they could get your banking and information.
And the matter was fixed, right?
I believe so.
Matter was fixed.
But keep in mind, right? We see a lot of foreigners in and out of St. Vincent. And if you're practicing this fraud in America, what is stopping you from trying to practice it here where we have less security?
Who said we have less security here in terms of banking?
I do not believe
Who said we
that
have
the
less security here?
that we have here for banking is more than there is in America.
Excuse me? Not at all.
Maybe I have to do
Not
my
at
own
all.
research.
Not at all. Because if you look at the number of, and you would say like people will complain about things online that they can get rectified within the banking system. And if not, then there's a process to go through to get back your stuff. And if not, you switch banks. But in terms of security, from my experience, no.
How long have you been out of banking?
Does it really matter how long I've been out of banking?
Yes, it does. Because if the instances will happen less at the time when you were in banking, because the instances I'm talking about, the posts that I've seen on social media, are for the past 3 years. So it does matter. So maybe policies change, maybe they try to implement certain stuff and it hasn't been working out. Who knows? Or maybe you're 100% right, and like circumstances like what I experienced are in this smaller percentage. Who knows?
Perhaps the smaller percentage, and sometimes that happens. So the smaller percentages will have the most publicity or publication or sharing, as opposed to the others. From my experience,
negative news sells.
From my experience, I don't think the banking system in St. Vincent and Grenadines, while it is risky business, and that is evident because banks have left the Caribbean and not just in Vincent and Grenadines, I don't think any bank that is here to be a reputable establishment would risk their reputation and licenses and not get certain things rectified or increase security. And sometimes it's a continuous process. You have a whole department to deal with security, internet security, and so on. People also need to educate themselves on how to protect themselves from these things. Don't give anybody else your PIN. Don't go into the ATM with somebody over your shoulder. Don't write down your PIN next to the ATM card.
This is why I disagree with you. I don't think, like, it is my responsibility to educate myself, yes, but I think the bank should be educating me as well. I say this because when I was about to leave for Taiwan, I went to a certain bank to set up my online banking. Now, I share this responsibility. I'll say that up front. Everything was sorted. I allotted the bank. I'll be out of the country for X amount of years. I also plan on traveling. So if you see transactions, you understand why. When I got to the country, within 2 weeks, an ATM ate my card. And I realized that's because my card had expired. Now, I share responsibility where I should have checked the expiry date of my card. But if I'm at the bank sorting out these things, you have my card, you're looking at my information.
I have to tell you when your card going to expire.
You don't have to. Like I say, it's a shared responsibility. If you're looking at my information, you have my card, everything. It's my responsibility to check the expiration date. But you're looking at my information already. You have my card. Won't you double check that as well?
To tell you what when your card expiring?
Yes,
I think that's unreasonable. That's an unreasonable request.
It's not?
It is an unreasonable request.
All right.
To expect of me to tell you when your card expiring?
You are checking my account. You're making sure all my ducks are in a row so that I can leave the country. But it's 7:35. We could get back to this after traffic.
No, we ain't coming back to it. We ain't coming back to it. No, you asking for much. You asking for
I don't think so.
Come on,
But
man,
it's
Ari, your expiration.
7:35. We're going into traffic talk with
Already?
PC Hunt. Yes, we go over time.
WEFM